I should say good afternoon because it's afternoon over there, and I'm actually from Sydney, Australia. It's 1 past midnight here. So, and I guess you have already been introduced about the author of the paper, Sabira Arefin. She's my sister. Unfortunately, she is not able to present today, and being a co-contributor to the paper, it's myself and the other co-contributor, Gideon, will be presenting.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gideon Kipkoech, research assistant in AI and healthcare. I'm from Kenya, studied at University of Embu, and I focus mostly on healthcare and how to help women. I'm also a writer. I've helped in authoring several books, and also in writing several papers, especially concerning women. So we've been partnering with Sabira Arefin and Samia Arefin for this work, and we'll be happy today to present you what we came up with. You can proceed, Samia.
Thanks, Gideon. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for letting me present today. It is actually an honor to present to you, all of you who are so committed to focus on women's empowerment and leadership. And today we will share some insights into nurturing mental strength and fostering inclusive leadership among women, a journey that is not only just personal, but also universal. So before we start our mission, let me just share a brief introduction about myself. I'm Dr. Samia Arefin, an advanced psychiatry trainee with Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Psychiatry. My journey also began same as my sister back in Bangladesh, and it was when I was doing my medicine school. Those days, my passion for mental health took root. So we go to the introduction. So this paper, and I won't be really referring to the study and researches because those are already included in the main paper. So we are here today at a time when the world is waking up to the power and potential of women leaders. There's a lot of talk about lifting women up, about making sure that they get their chance to lead, and there are good reasons for it. Women are making big moves and changing the game in business and in communities and all over the globe. But let's be real, it's not all smooth sailing at all. While the doors to leadership are opening up, women are walking through them only to face a whole bunch of challenges that their male colleagues rarely do. Think about it. Women are dealing with way more stress at work, and it's taking a toll on their health, burnout, anxiety, you name it. Women are facing it at much higher rates. So why is that all happening? Well, to start with, the workplace can sometimes feel like it's set up for men. Women often find themselves having to act in a certain way just to fit in with these old school ideas of what a leader looks like. And on top of that, many women are juggling a whole lot more on the home front, from taking care of kids to running the household. This will add up to a really tricky balancing act. We have got women changing and moving forward, breaking barriers and showing us the kind of leaders they can be. But at the same time, they're up against these invisible forces that can knock their well-being off track. It's like they're running a race, but with extra hurdles. So let's unpack all these together today. The nitty-gritty of these challenges, and more importantly, how we can tackle them head on. Because when women thrive, everyone benefits. So one of the challenges are gender disparity. which I would like to talk about now. So picture this, women stepping into leadership roles, ready to take on the world. But here's the twist. As they climb the ladder, they're often weighed down by a heavy backpack filled with stress, doubt, and unfair expectations. For women leaders, the workplace can feel like a pressure cooker. They're working twice as hard to prove themselves, with stress levels sky high and the risk of burning out lurking around every corner. And let's talk about that sneaky voice inside that whispers, do you really belong here? It's something a lot of women can't seem to shake off, no matter how many wins they have notched up. Then there are these old, dusty stereotypes that say women should be doing this or that, but often not leaders, similar to being in a race where you are expected to run just as fast, but in high heels and tight skirts. And not to mention, the crowd is always cheering louder for men. Let's not forget the playing field itself. It's far from even. The higher up you look, the less diverse it gets. It's tough to be what you cannot see. And with fewer women in those top spots, it can seem like there is no spot for you at the table. It gets worse. Women deal with those little jabs, the microaggressions that chip away at confidence day by day. They're subtle but hurtful, like being overlooked in meetings or having your ideas echoed by a male colleague to applause. When it comes to big breaks, like sponsorship, promotions, these often go to men too. Carrying all this makes it so much harder for women to keep climbing. The strain of it all, the mental and emotional load, can become too much, leading some incredibly talented women to step back or worse, step down from the roles they have earned. We have got to address these issues head on because when we lighten that load, we clear the path for women to lead, succeed, and stay at the top where they belong. So, the challenges that is related to our family responsibilities. And I guess most of you, if not all of you, would agree this is like a day-to-day story for us women. Now let's talk about what happens when the workday ends for us women. For a lot of women and women leaders, there is no switch off button. They swap their work hat for aprons and caretaker badges, diving into round two, like the home shift. I can quite relate to this actually. So imagine juggling calls and meetings all day, then coming home for a second job, cooking, helping kids with homework, caring for elderly parents, all these. It appears these women have to be like superheroes, except their superpower is running out of battery, and they barely have any sleep and no time to recharge. And their male colleagues, guess what? They often are not expected to stretch themselves this thin. They get to clock out of work and actually relax. The score on the home field isn't even, and that's putting it mildly. This was in a study by Jones in 2022 and Smith in 2020 that they highlighted even after all these changes in this era, women are expected to be more responsible for their household jobs. This double duty is more than just tiring, it's a career hazard. For too many women, the intense pull between office and home means hitting pause on their ambitions. They take break from home, hoping that they can catch their breath, only to find that it becomes too hard to jump back in where they actually left off. And these are not small numbers we are talking about. Loads of talented and driven women are stepping off the leadership track, not because that they want to, but because they're pulled in too many directions at the same time. You may call it motherhood penalty or caregiver gaps. It's a real problem. and it's draining diversity out of our leadership pools. We cannot just shrug our shoulder and accept it. If we want leadership that reflects the real world, then fixing this imbalance isn't just important, it's an absolute necessity. Now, looking at this photo, it's actually, I quite like this photo. You can see that there is a race in between men and women. As you can see, there are lots of house chores as hurdles in the photo for women in front of the women. But I wish I could add some more, like looking after kids, showering kids, having kids, like childbearing, being pregnant, and looking after a newborn, and all those. Those are hurdles too. And I guess all of us have experienced these or actually seen this at some stage of our lives. So let's talk about how the subtle bias manifests. And we are going on to a trickier scene now that is playing out in behind. Imagine you are at those big company events, the kind like where connections are made and futures are shaped. But if you are a woman, sometimes you find that the invite didn't really land in your inbox. These networking events, these informal get-togethers, they're where the magic happens, but too often women are left out of the circle. And when women do get to throw their hat in the ring, the bar seems to be set way higher for them. It feels like everyone is wearing those kind of 3D glasses that make men's success pop out and women's fade into the background. Women leaders have to work twice as hard to get the recognition, and that's not an exaggeration. Here is something else. Leadership often comes with the macho rapper, tough, dominant, techno prisoner sort of model. So when a woman steps up with those leadership chops, it doesn't always compute. The script says leader equals manly, and rewriting that script is not easy at all. And what's the consequence? Women's names don't come up as often when the big jobs are discussed. They're less likely to be hired for leadership roles, less likely to find a mentor who would guide them. And then there is the pressure to fit into a mold, to dress in a certain way, talk in a certain way, to be feminine but not too much, to be strong but not too much. It's a tightrope walk over a canyon of mixed messages. These subtle biases are like invisible threads pulling women back. Every woman should feel free to be her authentic self, to speak up, step up, and stand out without having to check a box on someone else's list. This is my favorite slide. I want to talk about it for longer time if I could, but I guess I'm being mindful of the time. So, self-care strategies. In light of those challenges that I've just described, prioritizing self-care becomes not just necessary, but is essential. Simple practices like breathing exercise, like muscle relaxation, and prioritizing your daily activities can significantly alleviate stress and contribute to our mental and emotional resilience. For example, like, what do you do? Just think about yourself. What do you do to provide self-care to yourself apart from household stuff, looking after your family, apart from the job that you're in? What do you actually do for yourself? Like, do you have a hobby? Do you have any strategies to relax? Like, do you do meditation or pray, I guess yoga, or perhaps like some exercises that helps you to feel relaxed? Or maybe just listening to music, or play an instrument that you like to play, or read a book. And I want to like focus on the mindfulness because that really helps. So I guess all of us are aware of what mindfulness is. So it actually does help you to calm down, does relax you, and also lets you be more able to focus on whatever you want to focus on. So in a nutshell, it's really important to have some self-care strategies for yourself so that you can manage your stress, anxiety, and be more productive. So how do we build a support network for us? Think of a support network as the secret sauce for women in leadership. They're the cheerleaders and co-strategies, the mentor in meeting rooms, and friends only who say online, who say you are not in this alone. So formal mentoring can map up the climb ahead, while like casual chats might give you a really great idea. Then all those other informal ones, coffee chats, corridor talks, those can actually light up a day. And in this digital age, supports have gone global. Platforms online are connecting women leaders from all corners of the world, helping them to share their stories, swap advice, share their struggles and how they overcome those struggles, and just be there for each other. And in this platform, everyone gets a seat. These networks is away the solo blue, replacing "can I do this" with "we have got this." They're the resilience builder, the courage booster that spurs us to leap into new opportunities with confidence. And so the next two slides are going to be talking about the app. Sorry, I might be wrong. Actually, no, the next slide is actually about something else. So let's talk about the family-friendly policies and flexible policies at workplace. So imagine if every organization worked like a caring family member, like understanding that life isn't just about the 9 to 5 work. It's about picking up your kid from school, taking care of their health, taking care of your health, and having a moment to breathe. Work-life balance isn't just a trendy phrase, it's a game changer. It means healthcare plans that recognize the sign of stress and burnout and catch them before they catch you. It's about companies standing with their employees' families, not making them to choose in between their career and a family life. For example, at my workplace, and I'm very fortunate and I really appreciate for that we have stress leave, we have parental leave, where men can actually go on paternity leave after the birth of their child. So the mother can go back to work if she wishes to. And then we have like free 10-minute massage that I love to have for all staff, and that's free on a regular basis. We have it. And we do have a quiet room. So if you're too much stressed or struggling with something at work or in your personal life, you can actually, during work hours, you can go to the quiet room for 10 minutes just to relax or even just to pray. So we need those kind of policies that don't just nod to these ideas, but actually live by them. Because when we support those families, employees' families, we are not just being kind, we are building stronger, healthier workplace. Without these fundamental supports, the load becomes too much and chipping away at the well-being and career growth of countless talented women. So now I would like to hand over to Gideon to present the next two slides. Gideon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just a minute. Can you see my screen?
I can. Or do you want me to play your just play your slides?
No problem. I can access it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've shared my screen.
We see the PowerPoint which is running. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Okay, so we go to the proposed app features, and after a lot of consideration with Sabira, we came up with an innovative solution that is presented in a mobile application, which leverages new technology. I mean, some of the key features proposed include the regular anonymous mental health assessments to discreetly flag any issues early on. Another beneficial aspect is the 24/7 access to qualified counseling via the text or video chat for urgent support beyond regular business hours. This is in a workplace. So whenever a woman is having a problem, maybe she's stressed up, she can look for a 24/7 support access. This access is powered by AI, and in advanced problems, it can be shifted to a real human being, a therapist who can now talk to the woman in a workplace. Additionally, the app could offer the educational resources such as ebooks, articles, and videos on various wellness topics. Secure moderated discussion boards will also foster important community connections, while calendar features showcase local networking opportunities. Asynchronous communication, that is through profiles, direct messaging, and interested-based groups, also work to alleviate isolation. This is a case whereby people in a given group or a given workplace can create a chat group or a chat room in that app whereby they can help maybe loosen up the stress, they can share ideas, or even they can motivate each other. As one of the example, you can even download a Neuralite, which is a Anthropic flagship product. A Neuralite is the world first app allowing for contactless health assessments using only a 30-second video selfie. Like you upload your selfie within a short period of time, it gives you the results. It analyzes your face, your facial expressions. So same to this app. Whenever a woman in a workplace feel maybe a little bit down, they can maybe check this video. It then analyzes the face, facial expression. Then they can give them ideas or even provide them a book, an article, or a group whereby they can join and loosen their stress. I mean, for instance, the Neuralite, the computational models used by the Neuralite were developed using the same medical grade equipment and scientific instrument that is found in labs and clinics, so that it is just like a clinic in your pocket. To the proposed app, it is just like a therapist in your pocket. So whenever a woman have a mental problem or she's stressed out, before going to that extreme, and they can access the app, they can even use an emoji like I'm happy. Maybe if they're happy, they can pop up a happy emoji, and then this can be shown to the organization, whereby the manager or the person under human relations can see that maybe Susan in this room or office is feeling maybe angry or sad or maybe stressed up, and they can send someone to help talk them or give them even a 20 break time to help them in reducing the stress levels. Now, also this app has they can be barriers, and we cover elements that is addressing for mental health application solution to be successfully implemented. Firstly, educating the organizational leadership on issues like implicit bias and the disappropriate challenges women face will garner awareness and buy in for support initiatives. Implementing the rigorous third-party security audits and I'm sorry, anonymizing personal details will allay privacy concerns. In addition, normalizing seeking behavior through real testimonials could encourage usage. Having a visible C-suite champions could also further incentive participation. Also, there's a problem about funding. So adequate funding will more ensure that features are sustainably maintained for maximum impact. I mean, there's some women who come from a background whereby they can't access these expensive apps. For instance, I'm from African. although they've been improved, and you could find that some women can't even afford. They have a smartphone, yes, but maybe subscribing to this app feature could be more expensive to them. So having adequate funding so that it can be cheap or freely available is one of the way of addressing this challenge. Also, verifying the features to comply with all relevant cancelling laws and mitigating the liabilities is also very prudent. For instance, you can find the laws from USA different from the one in Barcelona, that is Spain, or from Australia, and complying with all these relevant laws will mitigate liabilities. And also, finally, analyzing anonymized usage analytics could demonstrate improved productivity and retention over time for the implementing well-being resources. Generally, with a long-term commitment to promoting initiatives like periodic mental health seminars and assessments could meaningfully change and take root at all levels. Thank you.